Hey everybody, happy Friday. Just trying to adjust my camera so y'all can get a good view. Okay. It's time for me to get some work done. And so I thought I would go live. All right, so tonight I've got a couple of pieces to epoxy. I'm going to use some leftover paint from the other night's live video that we didn't use. I'm going to try to do a pour with that leftover paint. So I like to use freezer paper as my surface, my working space surface, with the shiny side up. And that's just because if I'm going to do any kind of pouring, I want to save the dried up paint because I can make jewelry pendants and jewelry rings after the paint has dried up. Then I can use that to make some jewelry. So I'm trying to get my tablet set up so that I can see comments, and I don't see that it's going to let me do that. Let's see. I am not a technology expert. I wish that I was, because it sure would make things easier for me when I'm doing all this. But I'm not. So if you're watching me live, comment and tell me hi and who's watching. It's nice to know who's watching. I'll try to keep up with comments. But right now, I'm going to epoxy these pretty babies right here. So I had a guest on my live the other night, and it was Kim and her daughter, Hannah. And they got to come out and hang out with me and get a free lesson. But they had to just agree to go live. So we had a really good time. And so now it's time for me to epoxy their smaller pieces here. So that's what I'm working on right now. I'm hoping after I get done with this, I'm going to do a pour with some leftover paint from, I think it was Wednesday night's live. And then if I have time after that, then I hope to do a fire pour, trying to create the look of fire. So on my Wednesday night's live, my friend Diana came over and she got a free lesson. And the lesson ended up being what not to do. So that was a lot of fun. That's the thing with pouring. You never know what you're going to get. You have this great idea in your mind what you're trying to get, but it doesn't always work that way. So we had fun, though, and we learned a lot that evening. We learned a lot. So I'm thankful for that. All right, I'm just going to pull up my live video here so I can read comments when they come up. Hey, Fur. I can see the comments sooner on my phone than I can see it on the live. Oh, here we go. I have to click on live chat, I guess, every single time.
I have to click on live.
Okay. So, Fur, did you work today? Guess I don't need that on. I wish you were here playing with me right now. It's no fun doing it by yourself, I tell you that. That's why I like to go live, so I can have people to talk to. All right, so I've got part A and part B. I like to write on the bottom of my cups just in case I have to mix more. I'll mix them in the same exact cups and I won't compromise the solution. Ugh, these are getting harder and harder to open. Oh my word. Hey babe, can you open this for me? I can't get it. This one either. Oh, careful. All right. So my husband had to go get some pliers to open those. I guess they're getting stuck because they're sticky when I close them. So I'm going to have to make sure that I wipe them really good. Okay, so these are the ones that I don't know how well you can see them. These are the ones that Kim and her daughter did. And the purple ones, everything, those colors are Hannah's, and these three are Kim's. And so I'm just going to epoxy them really quick because I want to get started on the other pours that I've got going tonight. You get it? Is the cap still intact? Uh-oh. Huh? You didn't. Okay. Fur, is this a good view? Do you like this view, or should I bring it down so you can see my face too? It's just me and you right now. Uh-oh, it looks like you went away. Oh gosh, this stuff is nasty. I guess it's drying up and it's just hardening on the lid. Really nasty. Okay, I mark my cups to how much I want to pour in there. So I use my handy little magnets to give me the right level. I'm just going to try this level right here. So what I'm doing is I put my marker on a platform about the height that I want to draw the line on my cup. And then I twirl the cup around on the tip of my marker, and that gives me a fill line to go by. Okay, so I've got part B. I'm going to pour it into my fill line. And then part A. Oh, this is getting so sticky. Yuck. This is the thicker of the two. And so right before I get to the fill line, I like to slow the flow down because since it's so thick, it takes a while for it to spread out and level out in the cup. And I think that's going to be right at the level that I need it. Oh, maybe a little bit more. Such a sticky, gooey mess. Okay, that looks good. Looks good to me anyway. Yuck. I'm not going to be able to tighten it at all. Okay, so I think I'm going to pour the more fluid one, the thinner of the two, into the thicker one, just so that I don't have to use another cup. And when I do it this way, I just need to make sure that I'm scraping out every little bit, because it is supposed to be equal parts. So I just want to make sure that I'm getting every little bit that I possibly can. And just when I think there's no more in there, I scrape and I find more. Hangs out on the edges. Okay, there we go. So now I'm going to stir for 3 minutes. I'm going to stir for 3 minutes, so I'm going to time myself. So it is 6:29 and I'll stir for 3 minutes. And I'm going to start out slow because I need it to start gelling together. And I think I'm going to even take the heat gun to it right now. When it's a little bit cooler, it doesn't want to stir as well. So if you take the heat to it, and this is such a small amount, if I was making a big amount and I was dealing with cold temperatures, I would probably set the bottles in front of a small heater, or I've done that before, or some people even stick it in a bowl of warm water. Okay, there. I think I'm getting, it's starting to gel together. So 2 more minutes. Who's watching? Fur, are you back? Is that you watching? So whatever the instructions say on your bottle, that's what you always want to do. Every company is different. This particular company, I'm using Stone Coat. This is my favorite to use for acrylic fluid art. It's got a part A and a part B. I also love working with art resin. I use that more so when I'm making glitter tumblers. But for this project, Stone Coat is the best. It's what I prefer anyway. Okay, so when you're stirring, you're looking for a clear look. You're going to have bubbles, but it should be clear. I'm almost done stirring. And then I'm going to start applying it to my tiles and my magnets that they made. We got to stick a magnet on the back of them. And then on the coasters, I'll put some either some felt or cork, so that way they won't scratch their furniture when they're using them. So almost done stirring. Make sure you scrape the sides because it does want to hug the sides of the cup. Almost done. Okay, I've been stirring for 3 minutes. I'm going to take the heat gun to it again, pop some of these bubbles on the top. Not too long because it's sitting inside of a plastic, you know, cup. So I surely don't want to melt the cup. I don't want to get any of the chemicals from the plastic melting into the epoxy. That wouldn't be good. So it looks really good. All right, so what I do, let me get some light on my table. Oh, that's bright. But that probably helps you to see better. I'm going to adjust the camera just a little bit. There, you can see me and what I'm doing. Okay, so what I usually do is I usually just pour on about a $half dollar size circle. And then I just, you know, sometimes I use my finger and just spread it out. This particular one I'm not going to because we added some gold flakes. They're like metal flakes. And I don't want it to rip my glove. They're not really super sharp. They've got some sharp edges, but nothing that would, you know, cut my finger. But I'll just play it safe and do it this way. Just kind of like spreading jelly on some toast or butter on some toast. And then I can take my finger and get the edges. Yeah, they're not that sharp now that I've got my finger on there. I hope the sound is good. Fur, if you're still watching, give me a thumbs up if the sound is good, or comment and let me know that you can hear me. I was really scared to start working with epoxy in the beginning, and it took me several months after I even bought my first bottles of epoxy to get started. I just had a big fear of, oh gosh, I'm going to mess it up. It's expensive. I don't want to waste any. I would be the one that would mix it wrong and have a chemical reaction. I was just, you know, thinking all these crazy things that probably would never happen. I was talking myself out of it. And one day I got that bottle right off my shelf and decided to take the plunge and do it. And I've never looked back. Okay, so I'm just spreading it out. And we didn't use any silicone in on these, so I don't have to worry about pitting for the most part. I usually only see pitting when I've used silicone. or the hair serum, one of the two, to get cells, but we didn't use any of that. All right, so that one is done. And we'll do this one. I try not to waste any of this stuff. It's not cheap. So I tried to just get enough on there to make it look gorgeous, make the colors pop. When you put epoxy on these, the colors just really pop, become so vibrant. And we use glitter, so you can imagine what I'm getting to look at right now. It's so pretty. And the glitter will be sealed. I know a lot of people don't like glitter because it just gets everywhere. Making them, it did get everywhere on the table that we were working on. But once you put the epoxy on there, you don't have to worry about it because it seals the glitter right in. So you won't have glitter escaping and getting in everything in your house. This one is so pretty. I've been waiting to epoxy these because they're just so pretty, and I wanted to see what they were going to look like once the epoxy got on there, and they're gorgeous. Kim and Hannah, y'all did such a good job. They look really good. Now they also did some bigger pieces, but those are still curing. So they'll probably cure for about another, I don't know, maybe 5 days or so. And then they will be ready for me to add a layer of epoxy on them as well. So when Kim was making this one, she had the same idea. Scrapbooking minds think alike. And I used to be a big time scrapbooker. I used to scrap professionally for my friend's store in Orlando, Florida. And her store was called Mouse Memory. It's no longer in existence, but it was called Mouse Memories. And she got clients, of course, that came to Orlando from other countries and wanted someone to be able to scrapbook their memories of their Disney World trip. And what a better place to get someone to do it is a scrapbook store in Orlando that has access to all of the Disney stickers and paper and all that kind of good stuff. So I was one of her professional scrapbookers, and I used to scrapbook for all these people, strangers. I didn't know them. Their kids sure were cute, though. A lot of them were from Australia. And I had so much fun doing it. So anyways, Kim had the same idea that I did, is that with her magnet, this one right here, she can take her Cricut machine and cut out a little phrase or a name, and we're going to put a magnet on the back, and then boom, it's done. So, I think I'm going to do the sides too. I was making the wood turn brown, so I might as well make it match. Okay, that one's done. This one's going to be tricky because Mr. Llama has all kind of cracks and crevices. I don't know that I'll get in all of them. Oops. Ugh, that did not just happen. Good thing it wasn't painted because it fell face down. Okay, Mr. Llama is done. I love these Walmart wipies because they are the best for cleaning up epoxy. I've tried all the name brand ones, but the Walmart brand is the best one. It doesn't leave fuzzies and it doesn't disintegrate like some of the other brands were doing. And I went through about 4. Please unlock your device. Oh, okay. I went through about 4. Did y'all just hear my tablet talk to me? I went through about 4 brands, expensive ones too, of wipies, and it seemed like the store brand, the Walmart brand, beat all of them. So that was cool. Okay, I've got some epoxy left, and I think I'm just going to make a really quick glitter tile. So let me grab a couple of tiles really quick. Huh? You like it? Okay. Let me see. What do I want to do? I can add some. Gosh, these things are sealing up. I can't even open it. You watch, I'm going to get paint everywhere trying to open this bottle. Oh, my goodness. Nope. It is not going to open. I want to put some, separate these two or make 3 cups and do some coasters. So I'm looking at my paints right now. I've got this one. Got some Pearl X. All right, let me divide this. It's going to be like an experiment. I just don't want to waste this epoxy. So I'm going to make a couple of coasters. But I've got to give it some color. So we're going to put a little bit of this Pearl X powder. And you only need a little bit of the Pearl X powder. You don't need a lot at all. Like that's probably way too much what I just dumped in there. So it's giving my epoxy color, and that was Aztec Gold by Pearl X. So that one looks really pretty. Hey, babe, do you think you could open this for me? You might be able to just do it without the hammer. I don't know. Here, if you bring me the hammer, I'd rather break it myself than you break it. I'd rather be the one to break it. Can you bring me the hammer? Sure. Thanks. I'm going to have to figure out how to get these so that they're not getting stuck, because they're getting stuck really bad. He went to go get me a hammer so that I can tap it really quick. Thanks, babe. I don't think that's going to help. Oh, my goodness. How to open Stone Coat Copper Base Tint. I'm not really sure. I'm trying to break the seal right now. Oh, wow. Nope. And I really want to use this stuff because it's gorgeous, and I want y'all to be able to see how good it mixes with epoxy. This is not nice. Do not try this at home. Oh, gosh. There. Finally. Good night. Great. Let's stir this baby a little bit. It's gorgeous. Might have to put this in another container because okay, so what I'm going to do is, it's not mixing really good right now. Okay, now I need another color for this third cup. And this crazy stuff right here whoa. If anybody has any tips or tricks for me, I'd love to hear them because I can't go through this every time. Not good. I don't even want to put the lid back on. I'll have to dress this after the video. That's dangerous. Okay, then I'm going to do some glitter. Maybe some silver glitter is what's going to go in the other one. And I'm just really experimenting because I'm not sure how it's going to work on here. Normally I would put a coat of epoxy down, but I don't have that right now. I don't have extra epoxy. So I'm just going to kind of play with it. But it does need some more glitter. I really wish I had some epoxy down right now. Wait, is this extra? No, that's not extra. Okay, I'm just going to start adding then. Let me take the heat gun to this really quick. Oh, got some glitter on there. It's probably going to burn off. Okay, let's see what happens. I don't have a lot, so. I'm going to leave a little bit in there. I have more of silver than anything, so the silver is going to really take over. I'm going to heat it and then I'm going to tilt it. That's done. Now to add a little bit more of the bronze. And this one right here in my hand is Stone Coat. It looks like a candy. And then some silver. And I've got plenty of silver left. Not that I want to use it all, but try to fill in those holes. Okay, let's take the heat gun to it and see what happens. Whoop. Keep touching it. Okay. Oh, this looks like a dreamy candy of some sort. Makes me want to just eat it. I'm just coating the edges with the epoxy. I won't have to put a layer of epoxy on this because I started out with epoxy. That just looks so pretty. There we go. So there's all kind of things you can do when you're, when you've got leftover epoxy. That was all my leftover epoxy, and so I didn't want to waste it. So might as well make a coaster, if you have that much. Now, if I had less to play with, I would have gotten my mold from my room next door, and I would have made some cabochons so I can make some rings or some earrings. So anyways, that looks really good. I like it. I'm going to take the heat gun to it one more time just to pop any bubbles. Looks so yummy. It looks like a caramel chocolate bar of some sort. It looks really yummy. Okay, all right. Next in line, I want to take the leftover paints that I have. So let me clear up my workspace here. I've got to move everything because I can shove this over there. I'm done with epoxy. So for that, that look right there, I was using, of course, the Pearl X, the Stone Coat copper base tint, and then I used glitter to give to bring in the silver. So I can't wait till it dries. I'm looking forward to seeing how it looks. All right, let me scooch these over. And I'm gonna post a message really quick on my Facebook group. Okay, so I'm going to scoot them over to give myself some more room. This chocolate one is gorgeous. I might have to make some more of those because I really, really like the way it turned out. Always make sure that your surface is level too when you're drying your dirty pours or your epoxy. For the most part, mine looks level. Usually I can eyeball it and see if I need to put a popsicle stick under there, then I will. So I had to actually fix that one. It didn't look level. Get this gorgeousness off of my gloves. And I'm going to try to wipe up my mess so I can use the same freezer paper and I don't have to get a whole other sheet. Like I said before, these wipies are just the best. The Walmart brand. I've tried other brands and they just didn't cut it. And you can use silicone mats too, so that way when it dries, it'll just come right off. There's so many different brands of everything that you can use. Okay, I'm going to do probably a flip cup. I'm going to have to see how much paint I have over there. So let me grab my paints. These were paints that we used the other night. And there is a lot left. And they're double colors because that particular night we were pouring the same colors. I don't know if I'm going to get to the fire one tonight. All right, I think that's all. This is my board I was going to use, and this is way too much paint for a flip. So I might make two flip cups and do one on here and then do one on another board. But for right now, I need to sand my board. I'm just trying to get the splinters off of the edges because I don't want to be wearing those later. That's not fun. And it's Friday night, so it should be fun. And then my surface, I'm going to just give it a quick sand. Okay, I think that will work. And I usually like to get the sawdust off, so oh, did you hear that catch? All right. I use mason jar lids for my risers, so I'm going to grab a couple of those. Excuse me. Hope I have enough room. It's getting hot in here because I've got 3 lamps on, 3 lights. So it is hot. All right, I think I'm gonna make 2 flip cups. So I think I've got enough. Don't know that I'm going to use all that black. And this mixture here, we've got Floetrol, glue all, and acrylic paint. No silicone. So I have 2 sets of everything because the other night I had a guest on my YouTube channel and we were using the same exact colors. And so we ended up with a lot of extra paint. So I figured I would just use it for another pour. This is white flat paint that I'm going to use to coat my board with. And that's probably too much. I probably just put too much on there. This is just to seal in the little holes that the wood has. It's really porous, so I just kind of want to seal up those little holes. You know what? I'm going to try something. I don't put any Floetrol in the paint that I am sealing the board with, but I'm wondering if I put some Floetrol on there, if that will help with the flow of the paint. That's what it's for. Okay. Got some little boogers. I don't know if it's from the foam brush disintegrating or if it's from the paint. I really don't know. All right, let me start mixing my, I don't have any white, so I'm just going to use tiny bits of black. I'm not going to use a lot of black at all. And I think I'm going to start with this color. This is like a metallic yellow. It's so neat to look inside the cup and watch the color, the paints react. And this is a really pretty blue. And then just a little bit of black. Not a lot at all. I think I'm going to swap these colors out. So I'm going to do red next. I don't like the yellow up against that copper. So yellow and then blue. This blue is really pretty. It's almost a midnight blue. And a little bit of black, not a lot at all. Okay, I'm done with that cup.
Yes.
When you go up high, the paint will penetrate through the layers below. When you hold your cup down low, it's just going to be on the surface. So, you know, when you're doing your dirty cup, just kind of play with it. That's it on that one. No more blue.
Yeah, I mean, I've already had a talk today. It's like, please don't send them to me. And Dave's pretty good about that.
So now we're copper. Red.
Yeah, he just sits there. He does this stuff.
Yellow.
Yeah, I just it's so shit.
I love this blue. This blue is really pretty.
I agree.
Whoa. Oh, they're getting slippery now. I'm getting sloppy. All right, I think I'm going to do a flip on one, and I don't know if I have enough room. I think I can squeeze it in. I'm going to try to squeeze it in because I really want to do two at the same time. I'm going to get some more wax paper. Hi, Norma. How are you? I'm so glad you could join me. I've been by myself for a little while. I think Fur had to leave me for a little while. But I'm just using leftover paint from my pour the other night. And I'm going to try to do a flip on one, and I'm going to do a pour on the other, I think. Nothing fancy, just trying to use leftover paint. So I need to sand my board really quick. Don't want splinters. Ooh, I think I got one right there. Okay. I'm feeling okay, but love watching you. Are you still not feeling good, Norma? Are you under the weather? Okay. I need my tape. Oh, I gotta sneeze. Phew! Excuse me. That was a big sneeze. I'm just going to take my paper down so it doesn't curl up like that. Can you hear my husband talking on the phone, Norma? Still have dizziness with vertigo over 2 weeks now. Oh, that's not good. Can you hear my husband talking on the phone? If you can, I'm just going to shut the door. Okay. Almost ready. All right, let me paint this. Oh, this paint stinks. Norma, I hope you get over the vertigo. Did you check to see what kind of oils you can use for that? And what are you using? What are you trying? Okay, no, you can't hear my husband? Okay, good. He's having a work conversation, and I just didn't want him to think it was a private one if it's not. Okay, there. I've got them coated. So the paints are starting to react. I'm going to have to be really careful because I'm running out of room here. So, okay, I think I'm going to do one flip and one pour. So I'm going to set this cup over here. Okay. And because I have leftover paint, I'm just going to put some on the corners because the corners are the hardest to get covered. So, Norma, you missed my my candy-looking coaster. It's this one right here that you can probably barely see. It looks like a caramel candy. I want some of these blues to come out. And this is just some of the leftover paint, like I said, that I had from my other night's guest pour. My friend that came over, we poured together, and we had a lot of leftover paint. This is really turning out pretty. Oops. It's really pretty. What do you think, Norma? Oh, my video froze. Am I unfrozen? Been using oils, need to wait for a neurologist. Norma, I am so sorry. I'm just making sure I've got the edges coated. Okay. All right. I think I'm done. Okay, so now this one over here is going to be a flip cup. I might have to switch, trade them out because I know you can't see over to my side. Yeah, the colors turned out really pretty. I like it. I'm going to take the heat gun to it really quick, and then I'm going to move this one over and switch places. I don't like the corners, so I'm trying to change it up a bit.
Well, you know, that might be a concept, but it might be a good system to review. I didn't think about that. But no, you're not.
All right. Let me swap them out, and then I'm going to do a flip cup on this one. Norma, that's crazy about your vertigo. Have they done scans? Any kind of scans? Or is that why you're waiting to see the neurologist? Oh, this is going to be a tight squeeze. All right, let's do that other flip. I'm going to flip it up here, and then I'm going to tilt it. Or actually, I'm going to flip it right here, I think. Okay, here we go, Norma. You ready to see the magic? The reason that you're waiting? Okay. I'll be praying for you. Okay, here we go. I'm going to take the heat gun to it.
I don't, it's, I don't know. I don't know. I think it's good. Yeah.
I really don't want to lose a lot of my paint because it needs to stretch down this direction. Looks like animal print. I lost a lot of my paint, but I really need it to stretch down here.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to get some of it to come back down here. So I'm hoping it will stretch.
I'll see something that you'll want to get out. Okay, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Takes patience, Norma. A lot of patience. That's really pretty. It's doing some really cool things. I think I want to take the heat gun to it again. Isn't it pretty, Norma? It's got all kind of cool things. It's got fire looking stuff here. Black is poking through right here. And this one's same thing. I wish you could come take a vacation to Texas and we could hang out. That would be really fun. All right, let me get my heat gun. Okay, I need a popsicle stick. Because I need to paint the sides. This paint falling underneath is gorgeous. Okay. Wow, that looks really, really pretty. I love it. What do you think, Norma? And I still have paint left. I'll probably just put covers on those. Yep. All right. Okay, I thought I was going to be able to do another, I wanted to do a fire pour that I've recently just learned how to do. But I don't have enough space, so that's going to be it for me tonight, Norma. Thanks for watching, though. I'm so glad that you got to come on and watch me live. I'm tired now, but I think these really turned out pretty. I can't wait to, probably as soon as I cut the camera off, I'm going to add some glitter. I just don't know what glitter, and I don't think I have the right colors in this room. I'll have to go next door into my other room and get some. But I'm really happy with the way they turned out. It looks really cool. There's all kind of cool things that are going on. I hope it dries just like that. I'll be happy if it does. A lot of times, or not a lot, but sometimes they don't. Sometimes it just all depends on the paints that you're using when you start mixing brands and that sort of thing. But anyways, I'm hoping that it stays this way. So you're welcome, Norma. I hope it made you feel a little bit better. It's therapy for me too, trust me. It's very relaxing. It helps with my blood pressure to stay down. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and end this video, but thanks so much for keeping me company. It makes a world of difference. And to those that are going to watch it on the playback, it turned out amazing. I'm very pleased with it. This was leftover paint from when I had Diana over, and I needed to use up the paint. So I'm really happy with the results. I hope it dries this way. I hope it doesn't move around too much and muddy up. Every now and then you'll get a piece that does that, and I'm hoping and praying that this one doesn't. I really like the way that they turned out. So thanks for watching, Norma. I'll see you next time on Southern Makes Live, either here or on my Facebook channel, Southern Makes VIP group. I'll see you next time. Hope you feel better, Norma. Bye.